Hi, I'm Robin Miller, and today I am doing a show on the Author Showcase. I'm going to be one of the first authors talking to you a little bit about my son's book, E.J. Tessero Miller, that we co-wrote last summer after we rescued our dog Woody from the Worcester Animal Rescue League. We wrote a book called The Stray. It's a series of books that we'll be writing for the next few years. So I'm going to read you a chapter. It's called The Long Journey. Once upon a time, on a hot summer day in Colorado, two dog owners decided to go on a road trip to Massachusetts. "Pack your bags," said the tall, burly man with black hair. "Pack his dog bones," said the tall, muscular woman with blonde hair. Wagging his tail back and forth at whirlwind speed was Woody, their 40-pound brown dog. The tall woman directed Woody into his black metal crate as both she and the tall man finished packing the van. Woody waited patiently, lying down and wondering when he would be left out of his crate. A half hour later, what seemed like an eternity to Woody, the tall woman finally opened his crate to walk him to the blue van. Woody jumped into the back seat with his long golden brown legs. The tall woman buckled him down on the soft black cushioned seat. Wa-boom, wa-boom, the car engine started, and they were on the way to the East Coast. Woody cocked his head from the seat to look out the window and saw white cirrus clouds and open desert land on the road. Meanwhile, in Shrewsbury, Massachusetts, a family with a betta fish, a mother named Robin, a father named Jim, and an 8-year-old boy named E.J. began their search for a dog who needed a loving home. It began 8 years ago. Well, it's been 8 years ago since their dog and cat passed away. Their family was excited to adopt a new dog into their lives. At a rest stop off the highway, the tall man rubbed his stomach and said, "Boy, I'm really hungry." "Me too," said the tall woman. "I will sit outside with Woody on the rust-reddish picnic table while you pick me up a large turkey and cheese sandwich with a bottle of water." Woody jumped out of the car with the woman as the man went into the restaurant to buy them lunch. Woody smelled the strange and interesting scents on the dirt path along the sidewalk. The woman brought out his dog bone for him to eat and his bowl to slurp down the water while they ate their lunch together under the basking sun. And they're on their way. This book is available on Amazon.com, on BarnesandNoble.com, and PennantPublication.com. You can also find information about the whereabouts of the book, The Stray, on the website called Woody Animal Therapy Services. Because EJ's underage, I have taken the tutelage to have him under my website with Woody and me sharing the Facebook site called Woody Animal Therapy Services. Hi, I'm back. I'm with Patience Hemingway. She's going to talk a little bit about a book, Breathe With Me. Welcome.
Thank you.
So, who are you in terms of writing your book?
My name is Patience Hemingway, #1 Amazon International Best-Selling author of the book Breathe With Me. So this book came about because I went through a few stress and anxiety at work, and I ended up in the ER twice, and the EKG couldn't figure out what was happening. So I figured, what could I do if the doctor cannot help me? Then all I realized was I had to take time and breathe. As a mother, as a career woman, and a wife, stresses and situations happen all the time, and we forget to breathe as we were made to breathe. So that is what this book is about.
Do you want to just read a little blurb or anything from your book?
Yes, I will.
Oh, go ahead.
Before I do that,
Yes.
Last Saturday I was at an event at UMass Medical School presenting about my book, and I took a survey asking people, what type of breather do you think you are? And I said, are you a shallow breather, thoracic breather, or a diaphragmatic breather? 9 out of 10 people confessed they were #1. So this shows me that we are going around without having taken the most important gift that God has given us, which is our breath. And maybe because we have forgotten what the importance or the benefits of breathing are. So on this list, I'll just go through it quickly. It improves posture, it reduces inflammation, it detoxifies our body, it stimulates the lymphatic system, breathing improves the respiratory system, of course. It calms our nervous system. Breathing strengthens our lymphatic system. So I'll just go through just a few of that, and it increases our energy level. So if you want to have any energy, here it is. So as you said, I will read something, but it focuses on one benefit that says, breath keeps us looking youthful. So right here in my book, I have 11 powerful breathing techniques, and the one that I'm going to read about is entitled the VN Smile. So do you mind going through it with me?
Sure, in the
Sure.
time we have, sure.
Yes. So all you have to do is to sit in a good posture, and you can put one hand on your chest and one hand on your belly. We are going to breathe in through our nose and feel our belly expand whilst we inhale fully into our diaphragm, and then we'll hold for a while and exhale through our mouth, through pursed lips like that. Okay? But whilst we're doing that, we want to be smiling, because when you're smiling, you exercise your ocular muscles. And when you are smiling too, you activate the glossopharyngeal muscles. So that's what we're going to do. So let's start. Breathe in. And then we're going to exhale through pursed lips. If you do this just 5 times a day, you will benefit from all the things that I have mentioned. Breathing is a gift. It is involuntary, but we forget, and now we become instructed breathers, holding our breath more than we're supposed to give it up. Thank you.
So how can people buy your book?
You can get this book on my website, www.patientserenitygrove.com. Again, it is www.patientserenitygrove.com. Or you can find it in Barnes & Nobles or on Amazon.com.
Well, thank you very much, Patience.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you so much, Robin.
Hi, I'm Robin Miller, and I am with Sue Salvamini. She's going to talk about a book called Leadership by Choice. So why don't you just tell the viewers a little bit about you and your book?
Well, thanks, Robin, and thanks for having me.
You're welcome.
I worked in corporate America and in the military for 20 plus years. We'll leave it at that. And a few years ago, I decided to follow my passion and founded my company, Focal Point, which I would be working with leaders of teams and executive leaders, really with the mission of trying to help people be really great at leadership and help people have a great environment to work in. Because we spend so much of our time working that we've got to love it. And through the process of my work in the first 2 years, I was hearing common themes from all levels of people from some of my workshops, both senior C-suite CEOs and mid-level managers or young professionals in their journey trying to move up. And it compelled me to finally put the thoughts into the book. And so I decided just over a year ago that I would write this book compiling these elements that people were craving both in a work environment and needing as leaders. And so I came out with my first book, Leadership by Choice. Wow. And the image on it is the infamous Newton's cradle, which is a science. I was a math major, so I'm a little bit of a geek, but the science behind the cradle is that when you swing one ball, it comes out on the other end, but the other balls aren't moving. And I really got the idea for this image from my husband, who's a 3rd grade teacher, who, when I was getting ready to prepare a workshop, gave me this image. And it really culminates with what the message is that I'm trying to get across, which is we're all leaders, and we all create impact. And just because we can't see what's going on around us all the time, it doesn't mean that we're not making an impact. And so I challenge my CEOs and executives to really examine and choose what's the impact you want to have. And the title of my book is Leadership by Choice, 7 Keys for Maximizing Your Impact and Influence in the Workplace right where you are, because so many in a flawed way think that they can't have an impact unless they have the right title or the big team. And I've written this book with 7 very simple tenets of how that's not true. And it gives people an ability to really explore where they are currently, to see if they can find the joy in their current roles and the impact they're trying to have currently, and not wait until that next job or promotion. So this has been a great experience. I work with senior executives and leadership teams trying to bring their team together cohesively to create that culture that they want in the organization. And I've now used the book mostly with my clients. There's a lot of reflection in it, and it really pushes my clients to think about their values, their vision, what gets in their way. You know, how well do they listen? Do they recognize people? I can't give you all of the tips. You'll have to read the book for that. But it's just been a joy. It was really fun to write, and it's been even more fun to now work with it and continue to use it with my clients and continue to grow and learn for the next edition.
Well, it's interesting that you say that, because I remember Dr. Marla Angelo's quote. It's that people remember you not what you say, it's how you make them feel.
Yes.
And that is so powerful.
And that you'll love that. If we get to the latter chapters in the book, we talk about that.
Yes,
So.
and also being in the workplace myself, I find like a lot of people, managers end up putting up a lot of fires first before they get the product done. So there's a lot of forest fires.
Well, and
they
it's
have to take
hard
care
when
of.
you're dealing with the tasks.
Yeah.
You know, and I find this with my leaders, they're struggling between the tasks and being in the weeds of the work, which is necessary to have productivity and outcomes. And then the other side of really being able to be there and be present for their colleagues, for each other, and for their direct reports in the cases where they lead a team. And sort of how do they bridge that and stay aligned and create a culture where people want to go and want to be and rise to their best. So it's been a joy and a pleasure.
Okay, well, just tell the viewers how they can get your book.
So my book is available on Amazon at amazon.com, or you can download it or access it through my website, which is focalpointinc.com, and that's point with an E, so focalpointinc.com. And there is a book that's available. There is a reflection journal. If you're a little bit geeky like me and you like a bound book, this is an option. Or with the book, you do have an option to download a complimentary reflection journal that's where you really capture your thoughts, do your best thinking, and you find the answers from within. So thanks so much.
Well, thank you, Susan, for coming on.
Thank you. Take care.
Take care. And I am back with the new author, Ibi Obamanu. Welcome.
Thank you.
So tell us, the viewers, who are you in terms of writing?
It started a while ago, but I just kept putting it off. I went through some experience in my life where I felt like love, empathy, kindness, and compassion is the way to go. Just to be able to get the word out there. Children really need to learn how to love.
I couldn't agree with you anymore. So you wrote some children's books here. What do you have here?
Yes, I have Helping Each Other Climb. This is about friendship, sharing, patience, and love.
Oh. And let's see what else.
I have, at the end of the day, just building children's self-esteem, being able to play with each other, relationship, get along, and show love and kindness.
Wow.
I have The Right Thing here. Being bullied is not a nice thing. And I want children to know that bullying each other is not the way to go. We can learn to be friends, get along with each other. My name is Anita, and not the autistic girl. Do not label anyone with disability, because obviously they're going through a lot already. So this is awareness and acceptance.
Did you want to read a page or two or any of them?
Definitely, I
Okay.
would love to read a page
Just a couple
of
of pages.
this. This is about a little girl who was making fun of another girl. So I'm just gonna read where a boy intercepted to show kindness. At dismissal, in the hallway, Thomas looked at Jessie and said, "Why were you making fun of Anita in the class yesterday? She was learning the alphabet. How would you feel if someone did that to you?" Jess jumped in and said to Thomas, "But I know my alphabet." Thomas responded, "I know, Jessie. That is not the point. You are not being kind to to Anita. Jess replied, "You mean the autistic girl?" "She has a name, Jess. Anita has autism," said Thomas. "What is autism?" Jess asked Thomas. Thomas explained, "Some people with autism have a hard time of learning like others."
Oh, very good. Well, thank you very much for sharing. So how can people get in contact with you?
I'm going to be uploading this on Amazon and via my website also, which is Children with Big Hearts.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Robin Miller, and I am back with a new author. Lou Pepe is here to talk about his book. So welcome.
Thank you for having me.
So what is the title of your book?
The title of my book is My Brothers Have My Back. It's about Vietnam, my time in Vietnam, historical narrative more than a memoir. A little bit about the title. I labored for a long time. The book was finished trying to come up with a title. And a friend of mine called, Vietnam vet friend, and said he was in New York City at a restaurant with two of his other Vietnam vet friends and their wives. And he was sitting with his back to the door. And the other two vets were sitting across from him with their wives. And his wife Fran said to him, "I don't understand this. You always face the exit when you go in a restaurant." It's a little bit left over from PTSD. And he says, "Well, I don't have to today because my brothers have my back." And he told me that story, and it became the title.
And just in the time we have, is there anything you'd like to read from it, or maybe just summarize?
Well, some events that people don't realize that 30 or 40% of the casualties in war are from friendly fire. And we had one of those, and it were the only people in my squad, a little group of 8, that were casualties that died while I was there. And it centered around, we were practicing calling in artillery, or mortars rather, and our lieutenant was helping another lieutenant, and they were having a little bit of trouble, and they were landing erratically, and we were just out there just to have extra boots on the ground. And we were standing around our mechanized vehicle, and one of my cohorts had just got a magazine, Playboy magazine. So we were all thrilled about looking at the magazine, and everybody was huddled around it. Well, the call of nature came to me, and I had to go around to the back of the vehicle and get some toilet paper. And I walked to the edge of this berm, and they were still looking at the magazine, and I jumped off to do my business, and the artillery round landed as I was in the air but protected by the berm, and 2 were killed, and one of them was wounded, terribly wounded.
I'm sorry to hear that.
And David Nicholson and Bobby Vandergriff were the KIAs. They both died in my arms. So people don't realize that as many as 40% of the casualties are from friendly fire. It's not always perfect.
I know. I understand. Well, I thank you for sharing that, and I know people out there will learn definitely a lot about about what you went through, and I thank you for serving and able to tell your story. I think that's really important for people to hear. So how can people contact you and get a copy of your book?
I live in West Boylston actually, but it's available on Amazon, and anybody can purchase it on Amazon. That's the main vehicle it sells on. I think Walmart Books sells it, Barnes & Noble sells it. All of the major online booksellers sell it. But I do generally have book signings around locally that are advertised. I had one here in December. I had one at the West Boylston Library. I had one at Southgate last week.
Good.
Yeah, so.
Well, thank you very
They
much.
can find me on Amazon. Thank you for having me.
And thank you for telling your story.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Hi, I'm Robin Miller, and I am here with Dr. Christian Poe. And thank you very much for coming on.
Thank you. It's an honor to be on the show today. Thank you for having me.
What book did you write?
So I wrote a book called Healthy Heath and His Magic Fruits and Vegetables. I also have a female version. It's the exact same book except a female character, and her name is Healthy Heather. I am a holistic health practitioner in the Shrewsbury and Central Mass area. I'm very passionate about nutrition, kindness, and celebrating individuality, and I think that's what my overall inspiration was for writing this book. I have 3 small children.
Oh.
I have a 5-year-old and a set of 2.5-year-old twins. So from a personal perspective, I know what a challenge it can be to get kids to eat healthy. And
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes.
I know that feeling.
One day I was dropping my daughter off at school, and I had kind of had a difficult morning getting my kids fed a healthy breakfast, and I said, gee, I would love to offer some inspiration to kids and parents alike to sort of make them feel more enthusiastic and upbeat about eating healthy. It offers lessons on overall nutrition, so it teaches adds an element of magic and superhero to that, as well as sort of an element. There's a bully in the book that bullies the main character, and then lessons on kindness, and also teaching lessons about celebrating individuality when somebody is different from us.
Do you have something you want to read?
Sure, I'll read
if you want to read.
few paragraphs from the book. This is a story of Healthy Heath and his magic fruits and vegetables. Although he looked ordinary, Heath was actually a very extraordinary boy. Most of all, he loved eating fruits and vegetables. Every chance Heath had, he would eat yummy fruits and vegetables. In fact, when he ate all of his fruits and vegetables, especially green vegetables, he got special superpowers. He especially loved to eat spinach, broccoli, carrots, and blueberries. When he ate his fruits and vegetables, he could grow big muscles and turn into a superhero with his magical powers. He could jump so high that he could reach the top of a tree. He could lift a car or a huge rock over his head. He could run like lightning, and he could solve math problems or read books in less than 1 minute. He also got straight A's in school. Every day during snack time at school, Heath would have a big bowl of green vegetables and berries. He loved snack time because it gave him a lot of energy and helped him learn and get good grades. Healthy Heath had a classmate named Billy the Bully who would tease him every day about his healthy snacks and lunches. Billy was a lot bigger than Heath and would say, "You always eat healthy fruits and vegetables and all this strange stuff that looks boring and gross. I don't see anyone else in the class eating like you. No one wants to play with you or eat snacks with you because you're so different." Many of the other kids would laugh with Billy. Heath would feel sad, but he was always kind and helpful to all of his classmates. He didn't let the teasing stop him from eating his healthy foods, always being kind, and having his superpowers.
Wow, that's pretty cool. So you're going to read this to your 3 kids? How old are they?
So my daughter is 5, and my twins they'll be 3 at the end of July.
And the 5-year-old's going to school?
Yeah, she'll be in kindergarten in the fall.
And do you cook healthy meals for them?
I cook healthy meals almost every single night. I'd be lying if I say they ate it every single night, but we do our best. I think the key is really just making it available and just keeping at it and just keep introducing the healthier things and making them enthusiastic. And that was sort of my point of writing this book is, getting it sort of in their heads through like a superhero that, this is cool, this is fun.
Cool, yeah.
Yeah.
So what's the best meal that you made for them?
The best meal, I think the thing that they love the most, and I love making it, is probably making a homemade chicken soup with lots of vegetables in it. A lot of times what I will do is I will throw it in the blender.
That's okay.
And you know what? I kind of have that you're getting everything in there. You're getting your protein, your carbohydrates through, your organic pasta in the soup, plus tons of veggies while they're at it. So they love that. That's probably their favorite thing. And of course, pasta and meatballs too.
Of course. So how could viewers contact you, and how can they get your book?
So they can contact me through www.poholistichealth.com. That's my website, but both of my books are available on Amazon.
Well, thank you very much, Dr. Christian Poe, for coming on talking about your book.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. I'm going to read a section from my book called Breaking the Barrier, A Girl's Dream to Play Little League Baseball with Boys, which I did in 1975 after the law was passed in 1974. I'm going to read you a short chapter called Girls Can't Play with Boys. The sun was out and it was a warm spring day in 1975. It was time for recess, a favorite time for all of us to get some fresh air and play Playground was a large paved surface behind a 3-story brick building with 5-foot-tall windows covered in metal grates. Teachers took turns supervising the kids as they played jump rope, played a sport, or just chilled out. There was no electronics back then. My friends and I couldn't wait to play baseball. Before school was dismissed for the day, my 4th grade class joined another class to play. We put down our knapsacks, not backpacks. We ran in the courtyard in a colorful flurry of bell-bottom pants, croquet sneakers, and sweat jackets. Mr. Bugno was supervising the kids who were interested in playing baseball with their yellow plastic bat and tennis ball. A few of us girls ran to him to say we wanted to play. No, girls don't play with boys in baseball. Go play jump rope instead with the rest of the girls. Stunned, my friends and I exchanged confused looks and walked away. This is not cool, I said. We have a right to play. We did it last week when our teacher said we could. I'm going to tell him how I feel. The girls cheered me on as I walked over, summoning the courage to talk to Mr. Mugno. Mr. Mugno, I said, this 6-foot-tall teacher with grayish-black hair peered down at me. It's not fair that we can't play baseball with the boys. Did you know it's now legal for girls to play with boys in Little League? I don't care what the law is, he barked. I made the rules. That's it. End of story. Scat. I ran back to the girls in tears. Another teacher asked what was wrong. Mr. Mugno won't let us play baseball, I sobbed. The teacher was stunned and surprised and encouraged me to go and play something different with the girls. I certainly didn't feel like doing that. A few minutes later, I turned around and I heard some chanting. Girls have a right to play baseball with the boys, the voices said. The girls got together, skipping and chanting as a group, near where Mr. Mugno could overhear. I was amazed. My tears started to dry up as I realized that the others were sticking up for me. After school, I told my mom what happened. Mom clenched her fist in the air and appeared to be taller than a 5-foot height woman. How dare Mr. Mugno tell you can't play with baseball with boys? Who does he think he is? Later, my father arrived home from work. While putting food on the table, my mother told him of the news. I will go to school tomorrow to talk to him. Mom, don't do that, Mom. Don't do that. So if you read the rest of the book, you'll find out what happened. This book is now available on Pennant Publication, Barnes & Noble, and Amazon.com. This has been another episode of Miller Chat. See you soon.